My whole body hurts. Oh, hello. I'm just complaining about going to the gym yesterday. That actually was live a lot faster than normal. So Ken's with us today. Hopefully he can help me with the American accent, as he was in Georgia and he likes to do his American and British accents, which he's pretty good at. So today I'm going to try and use my real accent, the one that I actually have when I talk to my parents. The only problem I'm going to have is that if I speak in my normal Wisconsin accent, I'm going to speak a lot faster. And so this is kind of my teacher mode versus real life mode. And what I try and do in my everyday speaking is speak slower, number one, because speaking normal for me would be way too fast for anyone. So the speed is different. The accent is a little different just because I enunciate more. Enunciate is when you pronounce the T's correctly, and you pronounce the S's and C's and all of the letters. That's one other thing I do. So as far as teacher mode, I'm going to try and not do that today. But that's also going to be hard potentially. Maybe I should have subtitles today. So basically the main focus today is the D and the T sound. Life gets difficult when you have to start with pronunciation in English. Now, I think grammar in general for English in general, not focus on British, American, and whatever else kind of English there is out there. I think the grammar is relatively easy. Ken, opinion?
From Japanese point of view, English grammar sometimes is very complex because it has a very different. It developed, Asia and Europe is not so. So maybe among European languages, it's easier because I learned French a bit. It's kind of genders and nouns, which Asian language doesn't have such rule. So such concept seems very complicated. In terms of French, compared with that, English is easier. But some present perfect, Japanese tense is much easier than English tenses. So present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. To distinguish these is still is difficult to me.
Perfect. No, I do agree with you. Spanish is a lot more complicated just because of the conjugations. There's a different conjugation for, let's say, one verb, but for each person, it's different. And in English, as you know, in the present simple, we have the S or ES for the third person singular, he, she, and it. So we do have our exceptions, but really, I go, you go, he, she, it goes is our exception.
Mm-hmm.
We go and they go. So it just depends. But then again, pronunciation in English is a lot more difficult because we pronounce things differently than they're written. So what do we do? Because the Spanish always complain to me. They're like, yeah, but you don't write your words how you don't say your words how you write them. I'm like, and because in Spanish you do. And supposedly spelling and everything and pronunciation is easy in Spanish. Well, when you come from a language that doesn't really have rules, or they have more exceptions than rules, it's not that simple. So, it depends, like you said, comparing English to Japanese grammar is more complex, but comparing it to French, it's easier. It just depends where you're coming from. So different parts of the language will be different for everybody. All right. You just kind of have to work on the parts that aren't easy for you. So I'm a little bit nervous about starting this. Let me go ahead and screen share. Okay. And I'll show you. Oh, no. What did I do? Stop. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's sometimes happen. I forgot how to stop it. Yeah.
I just clicked stop. Let me hold on. First, I have to get this presentation up. I don't know what's going on today. All right, so screen share. Okay, everything's working, right, so far? Here we go. Oh, that was scary. Oh, terrifying. I hate when things go wrong with technology. Okay, so welcome to my American Accent Presentation USA. Now, let's not talk about politics or the flag. Let's just talk about the accent. So, Ken, could you read this for us, please?
Okay, today we are going to focus on the T sound, T and D sounds in American English. We first have to understand that the T sound in American English has four different sounds. Each sound is different depending on what letters is next to it. The technical word, the allophone.
Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. I never found the correct pronunciation, but I'd say allophone. Allophone. Yeah. I don't know. So I found some interesting technical words doing this. So again, here it is, 4 sounds. Thanks, life. This is one of those things that's frustrating for learners. Right, Ken?
Yeah, because pronunciation is much difficult than Japanese pronunciation. Yes, and
Really?
yeah, we don't have these sounds just da di do de do. That's it in
Oh,
Japanese.
okay.
So yeah.
Well, it depends on the letter that comes after. So basically, let's just get started. The first, oh yeah, I have the phonetics here in case some people know how to read those, and it's, I mean, the Word document doesn't like that. So anyway, we have our true normal T. Let's start out simple, right? Just the normal T sound. Attach, pretend, italic. Ken, can you read these?
Attach, pretend, italic.
Good. Any questions? This
Pretend.
is, it's kind of like the safety boat. You know, if you don't know how to say something, you always go here.
Are they same? Same sound or different sound?
These are all the same. The T is the
Okay,
same. Attach, pretend, italic.
okay, got it.
Okay, the letter T makes the T sound. All right. So yes, like I said, this is the most basic. If you have any questions, you always come here. And as you know, double letters in English, well, mean nothing, right? They have the same sound. Yeah. Well, let's say consonant. Okay, because if it's a vowel, then it's different. And I'm referring to this. Met and meet. Okay. Met and meet. Do you remember why those sounds are different? The vowel sounds are different in these words?
A sound and E sound difference.
And why?
And also, met is shorter. But me E sound. E is kind of such some of the extension sound. But A is very short. Net.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, it's, yeah, because we have an extra vowel here. This
Okay.
E actually doesn't say anything, but it gives all of its power, as I like to teach this. It gives all of its power to the first E, the letter E, and so it actually says its name, or the actual name of the letter, E, meet. And this one has no reinforcement anywhere, and so it's just the opposite. It's the soft sound of the E, met. That's why. So again, yeah, like I said, you can't always say 100% for everything in English because there's always exceptions. So even if there's 2 T's, coming back to this, it's still going to sound like 1. Okay. Okay. Hopefully that's a simple one. And now we'll go to the next part. Yeah, why don't you read this and we'll just stop. Ignore.
The quick D sound T. The T
Yeah, this
sound.
is the, sorry. This is the phonetics. That's it.
Okay, a phonetic sound is the T sound is sounds like a quick T. This happens when a T is between a vowel sound or R. Daughter,
Good. I'm sorry. Let's go. Yeah, read the other two examples.
computer, settle.
Okay, good. Great American accent today. I can tell you've got your American accent turned on.
I learned from songs. A lot of American singers, pronounce like
Okay,
this.
well, then I have a question for you. Do you think it's actually possible for people to learn English while listening to music?
Possible, but problem is the intonation. Because music has melody, we cannot learn intonation from music, but we can learn some stress or this kind of change, actual change of English sounds from
Mm-hmm.
singing.
Good. No, I agree with that. I never recommend people listen to music in order to learn English because of the shortening or elongating of the words. Okay, we always change a lot of the words, and that's not. I can't think of any words at the moment, and I'm not going to sing for anybody right now today. So, um, but that's
Interesting point.
yeah.
Sorry, when the Paul McCartney sing a song and with a little like first he said in British were little lag, but
Mm-hmm.
in the end, singing became like a blues. So at that moment, he changed into a kind of accent to American with a little lag. So
Huh.
that's interesting because singer sometimes British singer change into a kind of accent according to the melody or mood of the song.
That's an interesting piece of information. Um, I just feel that it's easier as as you said, the quick D sound, daughter,
Okay,
daughter,
no,
daughter, daughter, daughter. It's just easier than daughter. And also, I don't know if it seems more difficult to me to say daughter than daughter because I'm not used to it because it's not how I pronounce it normally or what or if it's just in general easier. I mean, that's something we'd have to. Where's Thomas? He should. Thomas. Too bad he couldn't come today. But someone like him who's used to speaking with a British accent, or anyone who speaks with a British accent, or anyone who pronounces this T sound as a real T. It's I just want to know what actually sounds, not what sounds, but what feels easier or what is easier in general. Because as we mentioned before, all of these four sounds are, well, three technically, because the T, the normal T at the very beginning here, is for all in British English. So there's four sounds in American English, but only one sound in British. Okay. As
right.
far as I'm concerned. So going back to this, so we daughter, computer, settle. Yeah, I don't want to say that next one yet. So, daughter, daughter. It's just when it's a very quick D, like it says, very quick. We're not saying daughter, daughter. No, daughter, daughter. Okay. Any questions here?
No, that's my familiar sounds.
Okay,
But
good.
many Japanese confusing. T changes to these like sounds, but once they got accustomed with it, it's not so difficult to pronounce it.
Which do you think is easier to pronounce, in the British way or the American way?
Actually, Japanese word computer settled, and it's not it's different from British way, but more how can I say American T change to D sound is unexpected change for
Mm-hmm.
Japanese. But T like T sound, little change to little. Computer change computer is more expectable change.
Yeah, you would expect that, I guess. I suppose, yeah. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, this is just normal stuff for me. This is nothing special here. I don't know. To me, it's just normal. And so I think before I even became kind of a teacher, I wouldn't have really noticed, the whole D and T sounds
Right.
or the differences. I mean,
So,
obviously, the British speak pretty different from.
so teaching this kind of change is very informative, useful for non-native speakers, I think.
Right. Well, I think Thomas had actually suggested I do like this class. This didn't come. This was not my my idea.
So
So.
once I got the idea from the song, I easily understood. Oh, computer means computer. Yeah, it's it's a good hint for native speakers to learn American accents.
Hmm. Well, and I know here in Spain too, a lot of people think that Americans speak like rah 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 rah. I'm like, we don't do that. Thank you. I don't think I sound like a little bear, walking around. Um, but to an extent, they're kind of. I don't want to say they're right, but they have a point, because when you listen to a British accent, actually, I'm going to text Thomas and see if he can join.
Right.
You never know what he's up to, so um and so sorry, give me like 2 seconds. Would you be able to pop in accent today? So we'll see.
Okay.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, British accents. Here, people here in Spain, like I said, they rah rah rah, and I know we
Mhm.
don't speak like that, but at the same time, when they hear the British speaking, which there's a lot of people from England here, a lot. Obviously, Spain's very nice and warm, and beaches and sunny and cheap compared to England, so they all come here. Well, they go to other countries too, but there's a big British population, and of course, they have the harder sound of the T because of the pronunciation, but there's not so. I understand the rah rah rah, example, just because they have computer, settle, and they actually pronounce those. But settle and computer are so much easier to pronounce, in my opinion.
Uh, because our sound is different from American British, so maybe
Yeah.
so that sound is very remain to our brain, our ear. Uh, so American R is how can I say somewhat distinctive for me at the beginning, but now I got with it. Also, it's difficult to make for Japanese tongue because we don't speak, roll the tongue in terms of R. So that's a kind of I practice a lot actually to make it like an American.
Okay. Well, and I've had to do that too with the Andalus accent here in Spain because there's a completely different accent here than there is in the center, in the north, etc. So, um, oh, hey, Knock, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good. Thank
Good.
you.
Well, we're talking about accents right now, and I have this word computer highlighted because, as Ken mentioned, there's a different R sound, and I think it's called rhotic, is what I've learned. Rhotic or something like that. Basically, the British English pronunciation of the R at the end of the word is not pronounced. Only when the word begins with an R are they actually going to pronounce it with an R sound. In this case, I think, Ken, how do you think they would pronounce this?
Computer, British and American. Sorry.
British.
Computer, I guess. Computer.
Yeah, exactly. This ER would kind of turn into a light A sound.
Right.
And that's just because it comes at the end, just like the word center. Oh gosh, that was difficult. For example, I say center, they say center. No?
Right.
More or less.
So yes.
And look, my computer doesn't like British English. It says it's wrong. So we look down here, the English US. So.
But American spelling.
When people ask why I don't want to switch to Spanish computer. This is So that's one of the differences too. So that's a whole nother part of the pronunciation differences, as far as that. Plus, I mean, there's spelling differences. We use different words, vocabulary, or verbs. I mean, the differences are endless, and sure, there's a lot. In general, yes, we do share the same language, but with a lot of differences. So with that, I want to go down here, and this is called I'm gonna say Glottal Stop. Glottal, because of the letters around it, and because that's honestly what I would say. So, Knock, because you were gone, why don't you read this for us, okay?
Okay. Wait.
Oh, can you see it? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Can you see it, the blue?
Yes, I can see that. Don't worry.
Okay.
The Gallardo Stop. This T is pronounced as a Gallardo Stop. For example, the sound in the middle of the word, or equal to a little pause when it is between a vowel N or R and followed by an N.
Okay, so lots of information here. I don't like how specific these are, but I know that it's also necessary for it to be specific. So the glottal stop, basically, as it says, this word, we pause in the middle of that. We don't say, oh, oh, that's kind of funny. So we don't pronounce it like that. We have a little stop in there. Okay, a little pause is what I've written. So I'm going to wait to pronounce these words. So Knock, why don't you read these words first as you would normally read them? You don't have to try and do any kind of accent or anything, okay?
How to pronounce that word?
Yeah, these three words. This one, this one.
Okay. It may be partner, certain, and fitness.
Okay, that's fine. Good. Ken?
Okay. Partner, certain, fitness.
Good. Okay, and I'm going to read partner, certain, fitness. Okay, so really what's happening is we are oh, I'm just about to pronounce the T sound, but I stop. Okay, partner. So I'm pausing just a little bit. Partner. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me try in this word. Certain. Certain. And this AI sound really doesn't, there's nothing here. Certain. What's happening, and this is something I've learned doing this presentation as well, is this N, if I pronounce the N, it sounds like an EN sound, right? N would say, we'll do this kind of oops, I'm sorry, not an S. EN. N. Certain. So what I'm doing is, because I have the sound of the EN, then here it's only saying, this is the phonetics, okay? There's just an N sound because this doesn't really mean anything, okay? So it's really, really confusing. Do you have questions first before I continue?
I think that the certain, like garden, maybe kind of, how can I say in English? The nasal. Release the air from nasal.
A nasal sound? Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sudden and garden. That's a
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me look at garden. Actually, good pronunciation. Garden. And I want to see how they do this phonetically. I'm not going to be able to write it. Ooh, what is that? Yeah, that's really complicated. I don't even have those. Garden. It doesn't even have like the R sound. I mean, it does garden. Let me listen to this quickly. Hold on, I have to turn the volume up.
Garden.
Yeah.
But he's saying the D pretty hard.
Garden.
Oh no, I'm lying. Garden.
So, but we need to release this air from nose.
Yeah.
Nasal.
Let's try it in the let's see. The UKRP. I don't know what that is.
Garden.
Ooh. Okay, very clearly.
Garden.
Different UK accent.
Garden.
That was Yorkshire. Irish.
Garden.
Oh. And back to the American.
Garden.
Garden. Honestly, I think what?
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think, I mean, obviously it depends on the accent as well. And because I'm from Wisconsin, I have kind of even more of a different accent. And this garden, I'm not even pronouncing the D basically at all. So I think you're kind of right. We eliminate words. We eliminate the sounds of letters, I should say. So that's this, okay, the certain. And that's also what they're referring to here, followed by an N. Because we have that sound in there, okay? Also with R, there's a little sound before. While we're pronouncing, this is difficult to explain. While we're pronouncing the R, we're having we have this vowel sound first. And so that's the problem. I'm sorry, problem. That's the situation in which is happening with this. It happens with the L and M as well, because it sounds like L-E-L-M-E-M. Okay, so it's basically the same as this. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So there's that, and then the last word, fitness. I'm definitely not even saying that T. And so what you're doing is, again, that little tiny pause, but it's so quick that you continue the word right after. So it's quite difficult. All right. Any other questions in this area? No?
No problem.
Ken, why don't you go ahead and you can read this little paragraph for us, okay?
Okay. The omitted T. This
Omitted.
type of right. The omitted T. This type of pronunciation is varied by natives in general and even within the native person singular, depending on the emphasis of a word. The italicized T means that the sound can be silent or eliminated from a word. This T sound is less likely to be omitted when the speaker is emphasizing the word for any reason.
Okay, so kind of difficult here. So basically what it's trying to say is this is different for each person. Okay, it's different for natives, let's say, in the United States, but each individual person decides how they want to pronounce the T, okay, this T sound. And the phonetics of this T sound is in the italic T. Okay, as you can see here, it literally is in italics. So that's what they're talking about. So that's what this is. So within the world of the natives who speak American English, plus every single singular person gets to decide or does decide how they pronounce it. And then this last part, what it's saying is, well, unless you're giving emphasis to the word, you're not going to pronounce the T. If you're emphasizing the word, then absolutely you're going to pronounce the T. Is that clear? There was a lot of information in this paragraph. Okay. Good. Knock, do you have any questions or anything? Like I said, that was kind of a complicated paragraph to write because there's so much information.
Maybe no.
Any questions, Knock?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. So there's two kind of examples. I'm just going to read this because it can get a little confusing here. So the italic T is often omitted in these two examples. So the first one is this. I don't even know. I can't even pronounce it because it says it's omitted sometimes. So this T sound is potentially silent when it follows the N and is also followed by a vowel sound R or a syllabic L. Like I said, that syllabic L is what I mentioned before, this. When the consonant takes over the sound of a vowel, because, like, for example, bottle, we don't pronounce this E at the end. What we're doing is just pronouncing the L, bottle, so it's the EL sound, okay? The E is not pronounced at the end, only the L, okay? Questions about that? Like I said, there's a lot of very specific vocabulary here. So
this is the same as the little and little case.
Little.
Okay. Same as that pattern.
Yes.
Okay. I got it.
Okay, good. Knock, do you have any questions? I mean, if you don't understand this, don't hesitate to ask, just because I'm sure there are people watching this that are confused as well.
It is two answers.
Okay. Well, let's go down and take a look at the words here. Okay. So center, advantage, gentle. So I actually pronounce the T's in the last two words, but not in center. Now, when I normally speak to you during my teacher mode accent, I normally pronounce center. Today, I'm going to say center, advantage. Oh, I don't have to say advantage. I must have been in teacher mode still. Advantage, gentle. Wow. Oh, I need to go home. Good thing I'm going home in like 6 weeks. So I need to get my American accent back sometimes. So, Knock, why don't you read these three words, okay?
Would I read the three words?
Yeah, center, advantage, gentle.
Like you. Center, advantage, gentle.
Or you can say
like,
them however you want.
I heard that native speaker said center and advantage, but gentle. I just hear them say gentle, not center.
Well, I find that interesting. Like I said, even for me at first, advantage, I guess I'd forgotten that I didn't pronounce that. You know, it's so many years teaching. I've been here for almost 7 years, so I tend to change things. Let me check out the word gentle, and we'll gentle. Oof. All right, hold on. Let's listen to this.
Gentle.
Oh, he says it. Let's look at British English.
Gentle.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, gentle. I don't even know it sounds right anymore. Okay, Ken, it's your turn, please.
Center, advantage, gentle.
All right, in British English?
Center, advantage, gentle.
Isn't that great, Knock? Looks Thomas didn't get my message yet. Well, he got it, but he didn't see it. So, but you know, there's a huge difference with our accents, and that's why I think it's difficult for people who focus on one accent or one. I don't know. We can officially say dialect, right, Ken? We had the discussion not that long ago.
Yeah,
They need.
or Georgia, sometimes people speak Southern accent, which is very difficult to me.
Well, I forgot about that. Let's take a look at the U.S. Southern accent.
Gentle.
Is that true or not?
Gentle.
Let's try a different
In this
word.
case, it's easy to listen, but sometimes people on the street, sometimes I cannot understand what they're talking. Cafeteria staff, sometimes their English was pretty difficult to me. So anyway, but maybe they can switch language too, maybe.
Well, let's take a listen with advantage and see what happens. Hold on. Oh, they don't have it. Bucket. Well, that's fine. We'll try the Irish.
Advantage.
Yep, they say too. Okay, anyway. But these are some of those words that you can say it or you're not going to say it. The T. It depends. For example, maybe if I'm yelling at someone, I'm like, it's in the center. Go get it. Then I'm emphasizing those words. And so I'm going to say center and not center. It's in the center. It sounds a little bit strange. Advantage, dental, I don't know. Anyway, so I want to look at the second one here because there's also another part that I want to add. So in the second scenario of which you can either omit or say it, okay, this T sound is often omitted when it occurs between two consonant sounds, except the consonants specifically mentioned for T. This is the D. And the glottal stop. Okay, so the other two parts that we saw that were not just the regular T sound. This is likely to occur when an S is added to the word. Okay, so that S confuses everything. So we have, actually, I'm going to wait. Knock, could you read these three words?
Okay. X, prints, and accepts.
Good. Okay, Ken, what about you?
Okay. Act, print, accept.
Okay, I didn't hear the S very much there, Ken. Could you try that again?
Okay. Act, print, accept.
Okay, good. That sounded better. So it's my turn now. Axe. This T I do not say at all. Axe. Prince. Accepts. So yes, I do not pronounce these naturally. Sometimes I forgot what my natural accent is. But also, this doesn't always happen in this word. What happens when we have this or even this or this or this? Okay, so we have a lot of different, things like this. It's not only with the T. Knock, why don't you read these four words first?
Oh. Maybe X.
Yeah.
X, guest, ghosts.
Good. Okay, Ken.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Asked, guest, ghost.
Okay. So my turn. Asks. If I don't know if you can hear the kind of K that I'm pronouncing. Asks. It literally is. It's in the throat. It's that sound that you make when you can feel it in your throat, and that's where this sound X is coming from. Okay. Then this ED here is pronounced like a T sound because after a K, we need the ED to sound like a T. That's a whole nother rule. That's past simple. Don't worry about this. But asked. Again, I'm not pronouncing this K. What happens with guests? And then it's difficult. Then we have the word ghosts. Ghosts. So it sounds quite silly. I mean, literally, if I were to maybe write this out phonetically with real letters, I would say ghosts. Whoops, that's a 0. Sorry. Ghosts. Right? Ghosts.
Yeah.
Something like this, just because the T, we're not really pronouncing the T, but there is something here. So I don't even know, but ghosts looks terrible. Ugh. Okay, see ya. Pronunciation. So yes, this happens a lot in English. Okay, it's not, like I said, it's not only for the T sounds or the D sounds or whatever, but this. Okay, any questions about these words, any of these 7 words that we have here? No?
No.
GU sound, how can I? GU or PU sound.
Oh,
So-
well, those are different. Let's put that here. So we have guests,
Wait,
which I
guest,
think S.
guest, guest.
I don't know. This guests.
I need
Guests.
to ignore you. Who sound? Guest,
Yes,
guest
I would.
sound.
You have to. But then when we
Yes.
have this word,
Quit.
it's like a quit.
Correct.
Yeah, it's like a K and a W together. The QU is like a qua sound. Qua. Okay. So again, yeah, like you just said, the GU or the QU, but they have different sounds. And again, that's exactly what we're talking about today. It depends on the letter before and after, and how it sounds.
Okay.
Because, well, as long as we're here, we have the 3 words quit, quite, and quiet. Why don't we try and pronounce this? Ken, you can start first this time.
Quit, quite, quiet.
Very good. Knock, do you want to try?
Quit, quiet.
Very good. And so here, quit, again, this is a very soft I because there's no reinforcement of an E anywhere else. In this word, quite, the last E here actually is giving all of its strength to this I. So the I is different between these 2 words, okay? Quit, quite. I. Okay? Those are the differences there. Now, this is an irregular kind of sounding word. Quiet. We're actually pronouncing both vowels. Normally, when we have 2 vowels together, we don't pronounce one of them. This is, again, exception. Welcome to the world of exceptions in English. I'm sorry. Again, it's not my fault. So you do have to be careful, but all of these have this quit, quite, quiet. Okay. Any other questions about this?
No.
All right. Whoops. I don't know how I did that. Now what I want to do is look at some words that it's really difficult to hear the difference. I'm actually going to have one of you read these words first. Ken, why don't you read these 2 words?
Okay.
Normal, no accent. Okay, you.
My accent, you mean?
Yeah.
Usually I say atom and atom.
Okay. Knock, how would you pronounce these 2 words?
He dropped.
Oh, he did? Okay, sorry. I'm not. Oh. Okay. Well, anyway, so my turn. So Adam. This is just naturally. Adam. So yeah, there's really no difference here. Okay, Adam. This is like embarrassing. It's like I'm pronouncing things incorrectly.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
hey, Knock, you're back. That's okay. I'm glad you came back.
I'm
That's
sorry.
good. That's okay. We'll have you read these words, the next 2, okay?
Okay. Metal.
I was like, knock, say it correctly. Okay, Ken, how would you pronounce these two words?
Metal and metal.
Thank you. Metal, 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 metal. They're the same.
Metal,
Okay. Metal, metal. And again, if we look at the rules above, all it's going to say is this is more of the quick D sound because it's in between vowels. Okay. Period. What about these? Ken, you can start.
Pedal, pedal.
Okay. Knock.
Maybe pedal.
Thank you. Gosh, that sounds so much better. Pedal, pedal. Sorry, Ken. It was kind of funny. I mean, I'm only laughing because I don't pronounce it like that naturally. And I have to when I speak in my teacher mode, but it's so much easier to speak my American English. Okay. What about these words? I'm sorry. Yeah, Knock, you can go first.
It may be title.
Okay, Ken.
Title.
Good title. Okay. Again, this is the quick D sound because this L has a vowel sound before the second. This last E doesn't even say anything anyway. And then basically it's repeated here where it has the D of vowel and then the L. Okay. So it's basically the same sound. It's just, it looks different. Okay. Moving on. This one to me is different. Why don't you two read these words?
Me?
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Is writing.
Okay, so it sounds the same when you say it, right?
Yeah.
Ken, do you agree with me that it sounds the same?
I would say writing and riding.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say writing and riding. To me, they sound different when I say it. What do you think? Writing. Do you hear a difference or not?
Yeah.
I think it is similar.
Extremely similar. Almost exact. Yeah. I think writing. I think the I is a little bit different here. Writing. Maybe it's the intonation is what's different.
I think for first one, because of the W, I can shrink my mouth writing. The second one, there's no W, so I just say writing.
But when we have a WR, we never pronounce the W.
Ooh,
Ken.
writing and writing.
I'm trying to think. Oh, what's another word that we have? Let me get some help here. I think for example, oh, why is my caps on? That word.
Wrong, ring, yeah.
Ring, rung, maybe? It means to twist, basically, to wring something out. If your clothes are wet, you want to dry them, you wring them. Wring. We don't pronounce the W in this word. That's what I'm trying to talk about. Okay. So I find it interesting that you kind of thought that that's okay. It's not wrong. Okay. Well, yeah. How do you spell wrong? Wrong. You don't pronounce the W, do you?
Wrong.
Wrist.
Yes.
Wrap. Whoops. I'm over there now. Okay. So, there we'll go like that. So we can distinguish the different ones. But Ken's learned something new today, right, Ken?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Perfect. All right. Well, yeah, hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to read the rest of these just because they're basically the same. We have bitter, shutter, ladder. There's no difference in these. Zero difference in the pronunciation. Okay. The last thing I want to mention very quickly is we're out. I have a good look at the bottom. The last thing is this is called the T and the D flaps. Now, basically what happens is your tongue is flapping. It's moving very quickly. This happens when we say the word. We don't fully pronounce the letter and our tongue flaps. It doesn't touch the top of your mouth. It goes up and down real quick. Okay. The word flap is like, let's say there's a flag, flag in the air. It's windy and the flag is flapping in the air. It's moving very quickly. Okay, that's what that word means. Any questions about that? So this is kind of the last part of the D and the T sounds, is the flap and how quick it really is. Okay. However, we are finished, and so I'm just going to take off this for a second, and I'm just going to check my schedule really quick. Today is July 25th. Monday, we're going to talk about how to deal with difficult people, obviously in a work area, just because that's when things happen, but it can also help you in your daily life. So you might want to come to that, because if you fight with people, you might not want to. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining. I had a lot of fun. And hopefully I can maintain my Wisconsin accent until I go. Otherwise, everyone's going to be like, you sound funny. Okay. So, yeah, well, thanks for joining, and that I hope you both have a great day. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you very
you.
much.
You too.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.